Alright guys, it's been a while, but I finally got off my ass and found a cheat on the internet that allows me to get unlimited energy crystals so I can feed my cyber elves without having to grind, because that sounds boring. Now, I believe I've brought up New Game Plus before. Basically all it does is transfer cyber elf usage between games, which is kind of why I'm annoyed with the whole weapon leveling system, because that doesn't transfer, and if you want good weapons, then you have to grind forever. And, you know, your efforts are just in vain. But anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with this. So, if you have all your cyber elves fully fed, but you haven't used any of them, you actually get something special. So let's just load up the save file right here. By the way, if you're wondering what that 1 next to the other data means, basically it just signifies that you've beaten the game that many times. There was a 1, therefore I've only beaten the game once on this file, so yeah, just in case you're curious. Now, let's check out our cyber elf list right here. So as you can see, I have everything fully grown, but what's that tab to the left? That wasn't there before. Alright, this is the rare cyber elf Jackson. Now, Jackson actually grants temporary invincibility, though, to be honest, I've forgotten quite how to pull that off. I don't think it's as simple as just holding the jump button, but I could have screwed something up last time I used it. But anyway, Jackson is actually a pretty useful thing to have, especially for something we're about to do. Now, if you're on hard mode, in order to get Jackson, in addition to fulfilling the other requirements, you actually have to beat the game with an A or S rank, whereas on normal mode, you just have to beat the game. Now, in addition to hard mode, there's actually one more mode you can unlock in this game. Now, in order to actually unlock it, well, you have to do the exact opposite of what you did to unlock Jackson, i.e., you need to use every cyber elf in the game. Yes, every single one. So, let's just download a few elves here, and finally, let's check out how we actually can upgrade ourselves, because I never did that in this game. In addition, let's also feed Jackson, so we can just see his upgrades. So basically, he transforms from a chameleon into some sort of weird mech thing. Yeah, I don't get it either. Anyway, using cyber elves is easy enough. Basically, you download them, then you go into the menu and you just select them from this little tab. And boom, you used the cyber elf. It is now dead. I'm completely serious. See? I just killed 2 elves. And now a 3rd. Look at that life bar, though. In addition, let's also give ourselves a few sub-tanks because, again, we didn't get those in the main game. Just do one of those. And that's what a sub-tank looks like. Look upon it. Look upon its glory. Now, I forget if I actually brought this up, but sub-tanks basically store excess energy that you don't need, say if you have full health and pick up a little healing item, and then you can use it later to heal yourself. And by using the best nurse elf, you get a blue bar, which that's actually a lot of HP. And of course, while you have a lot of HP, if you use the best animal elf, you'll actually get a lot of defense, meaning you'll only take like 1 or 2 damage. So basically, by using cyber elves, you are nearly invincible, actually. Like, at this point, very few things will be able to stop me. And of course, most animal elves don't really do much, outside of just sort of increasing your movement speed or slowing you down if, say, you're on a wall, stuff like that. However, there are a few elves that do actually help you combat-wise. There's the defense one I mentioned, and there's also the one that prevents knockback, which is also very useful. Alright, I'm gonna bring this one along because this is one of the few hackers that actually has a permanent effect on the actual area, or on the actual game rather. And this one is actually very vague. However, I believe I mentioned what it does a while back when we first got it. It removes all the spikes in the game by covering them with blocks. Yeah, that's right. Each and every one of them. Now that I've used all the permanent effect Cyber Elves, let's actually check out what Cyber Elves do to completely break the game. Alright, here we are back at the first mission in the game. Now, let's make this easier than it already is. So, if you're not aware of the Mega Man games, these Matars are recurring enemies, and they don't actually appear in this game outside of using the Cyber Elf to turn all the enemies in a stage into these guys. Now, this next one, it says it wipes out some enemies, but I kinda have to disagree with that. It wipes out all of the enemies in the stage. Now, I believe it only actually removes smaller enemies, but if you turn all of the enemies into tools, then all of them are small enemies, and therefore all of them are removed. Now, I could be wrong, and it could just be all the enemies if you use that one Cyber Elf, but regardless, they're all gone. And look at that! The spikes have all been covered up by these weird little block things. It's not really that prominent in this mission, but you'll notice in later missions, definitely, that blocks are just plain gone, and there's almost no challenge whatsoever. Is it any wonder that that elf was removed from later games? Yeah, there is no elf that has that effect, because it's just plain broken, really. Ah, and good old Aztec Falcon. Remember the good old days when he just tore me a new ass? Well, guess what? Not only am I nearly invincible, but I am just going to cut his health in half. What are you gonna do about that, Aztec Falcon? And look at that, he does 1 damage. I don't even have to play well. Seriously, I'm in no danger of dying. That felt really good, I must admit. There is, of course, a huge downside to using so many elves. And in fact, if you use any Cyber Elves that have a permanent effect on the game, such as the health-increasing ones, well, just have a look at this. We got negative 100 points for Cyber Elves. Yeah, if you use permanent effect Cyber Elves, you can never get a good rank ever again. Guys, I think I've done something I'm going to live to regret. Yeah, I killed all of them. I'm going to have some explaining to do. Playing through this game with all upgrades is extremely easy. Just wanted to throw that out there. Alright, let's just skip through these because we don't need to see the credits a second time. Alright, so, once you've used all the Cyber Elves in the game, thereby becoming the source of a mass Cyber Elf genocide, you actually get this message. Now, Ultimate Mode is actually a recurring mode in the series. It's in every game except for 2, where it was actually replaced by a Ultimate Form. But in this game, it serves a certain purpose. So, we actually have to start a new game this time. If you hear that sound, you know it works. So, let's just check out what this mode provides. We seem to have full health. We have 4 sub-tanks, and hey, 9,999 energy crystals, and I'm pretty sure I turned that cheat off, so apparently Ultimate Mode gave us that. So I guess we used all the Cyber Elves, right? No, we didn't. So yes, Ultimate Mode starts you off with all Cyber Elves completely raised, except their effects are already in use. So basically, you don't have to use a single Cyber Elf, and since you're not technically using the Cyber Elves like actually doing it yourself, you don't actually get ranked down from having the Cyber Elf effects on. So basically, you get to play the really easy version of Mega Man Zero without actually being punished for it, which, I don't know, it's not terrible, but after playing through this game normally, it just kind of becomes lame, because there are no spikes, nothing comes even close to killing you, really. And I mean, I guess you could say, well, it's still kind of challenging to get an S rank, but, you know, it can be fun, but there's a reason that it's just an alternate mode. It's actually, to be honest, I don't know why it's so difficult to unlock, because it's really not worth it. Because if you're able to unlock this, then you're probably not going to be entertained by it, that's the thing. Because let's be honest, if you wanted or needed this mode, you probably gave up a long time ago trying to actually get it. There is, however, a very good reason to play Ultimate Mode, though. Now, it may make the game much easier, but it does one good thing that is probably the entire reason I would consider playing this mode frequently. All weapons are instantly max skill. So basically, yeah, you don't have to grind weapons anymore, and that is fantastic. Now, one last note, in Ultimate Mode you can actually instantly charge your weapons, but in order to do that you have to do certain button combinations. I believe for Z-Buster it's down forward B to do a semi-charge shot. For full charge it has to be like down forward B. I'm not really good at performing that one. And for Z-Saber it's forward down B. And I believe for the triple rod you need to press forward down forward B, which is overcomplicated for a crappy weapon. And in order to use the shield boomerang, it's basically the same as the semi-charged Buster Shot, so there's that. Well, that's pretty much all there is to Ultimate Mode, as well as the New Game Plus, and of course got to see how broken Cyber Elves are, so, yep, that's just about it for Mega Man Zero.